Hi everyone, this is Massimo Bottura and this is Why Waste with Fine Dining Lovers. Hi everyone, today we're gonna talk about vegetables and herbs. I'm telling you, fruit is gonna come in season 2, but don't tell anyone. Many of us throw away the most delicious part of the potato, the skin. So today we're gonna teach you what to do with potato skins or some sad basil. And I'm introducing you my chef at Gucci Osteria, Karime Lopez.
Hi.
My Kari. So, Kari, what are we gonna do today?
Okay, Massimo, so I have this great idea where we will use all the trimmings, all the peels, and everything we used to waste of all the vegetables to do this ultimate, sticky, delicious vegetarian demi-glace.
What is the demi-glace?
This is like you make a broth and then you reduce it, and after that you have this very smooth, sticky sauce that you have all the rich flavor of all the vegetables in there.
Perfect. So it's very important for you to know that this kind of preparation, it's gonna take time, but at the end you can split it, you can put in a freezer, storage there, you're gonna use it when you need it. So you cook once and you use like 10 times. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Most people throw away all their vegetable trimmings because they don't know what to do with them. This recipe will allow you to use all these vegetable trimmings to get this super rich, tasty demi-glace sauce. You can store all the trimmings in your freezer, and when you have enough, you're ready to roast them. I'm going to put all my frozen trimmings here. Also, I like to use my dying herbs that I found in the fridge. Pour a little bit of olive oil, salt, and then we're ready to roast them. The great thing about this recipe is that you can use everything. You can use the shells of the peas, any part of the onion, stem of an artichoke. That's very, very important. So we can gather everything and don't waste anything. Now we're going to place this on the oven. You want to check all these trimmings that are in the oven and stir them every 15 minutes because you just want them to be golden brown. This is very important so our broth and our demi-glace is not bitter. We just want this umami rich flavor and also has like these salty notes. Before we start deglazing, we take out our pan, we take out the paper that was here because this paper helped us that all our trimmings didn't burn like too fast. Now we're going to put it again in the oven. After we can start deglazing it. I'm going to take out the pan from the oven and I'm going to start deglazing with water. This step is very, very important because here is where we take out all the richness and all the umami from all the scraps. I pour all the glazed scraps here in my pot and we're going to put like 1 part of the trimmings, 2 parts of water. And this is how we start this broth. And then we're going to slowly reduce it. This is very important, very, very, very slow cooking. Once our broth is reduced by half, we're going to start the process of the demi-glace. We're going to reduce again at 50%, and this is one of the most important steps of the recipe because we're reducing all the sugars, all the flavor to create this super rich sauce. Now you know that your demi-glace is ready because it starts sticking to the spoon. You will have like the texture of molasses. You can smell it, it's super, super nice.
Delicious! Sounds ready, right?
Yeah, ready.
Oh my God.
Look at this.
No, but the smell is just amazing. Wow, beautiful, beautiful, so intense. I have in my palate, I have like the second stage of my palate completely full and goes directly here, very long finish with the acidity that is really pick my brain, you know.
I'm glad you like it.
I love it, I love it. Very good. Brava, Cari! Do you know that half of the fruit and vegetables that we produce, they goes to waste? It's just insane. We stress our planet using water, human capital, energy to produce fruit and vegetables, and then we waste it. And what we became the first cause of climate change because we burn it. Because it costs less to burn it than distribute to poor people. This is not acceptable in 2021. Etica and Estetica. Now, my team is gonna teach you how to store food correctly, how to use every single part of the ingredient, how to kiss basil when he's sad, and use it in the right way, because throwing away food is unacceptable. We are home, we open the refrigerator, and what do you have inside? You have a Parmigiano Reggiano rind, some vegetable left over. What we can do with the vegetable that we cooked, we boiled them 2 days ago. Karime, that's a question for you. What we can do with that?
I'm going to show you how to use any leftover from vegetables to do our vegetarian croquettes.
Oh.
Glazed with the vegetarian demi-glace.
Woo, woo, woo. In the meantime, she was talking, you know, I was thinking about everything inside the croqueta, no? You think about croqueta, but I think about arancino, I think about polpetta, I think about the filling for a raviolo. So you can go everywhere you want, and it's up to you. You can fill it with love and serve it, and people, they're gonna love it.
Yummy.
Yummy.
For this recipe, we're going to use 120 grams of potatoes, 20 grams of cauliflower with leaves and stems, 20 grams of carrots, 20 grams of green peas, 20 grams of broccoli with leaves and stems, some breadcrumbs, from 1 to 2 eggs, salt and pepper. There's no rules for this recipe. You can use all the leftovers of veggies that you have in your fridge. Also, you can add chickpeas or beans. The important thing is that we really use all the things we have. Small tip that I will give you for this recipe is that all the vegetables must be a little bit warm, because if not you will have big lumps, and we want to have a solid paste to stick it to form like this kind of croquettes. I'm going to add my ingredients into a bowl. We're going to start smashing with our hands to get this like rustic texture, and after we're going to start seasoning. Now I have a nice rustic texture, and I'm going to add some breadcrumbs, an egg. It depends on how solid you see your mixture, and also we're going to season it with salt and pepper. I'm adding also more breadcrumbs. It helps to bind all this mixture. Now that we have a nice consistency, we're going to start shaping our croquettes. Let them set at least 30 minutes in the fridge, so when we fry them, it doesn't fall apart. I took out our croquettes from the fridge and we're going to deep fry them on vegetable oil at 170 degrees. But first we're going to roll them on flour, so this will prevent that they fall apart and will give like a more crispy texture. So we will start deep frying our croquettes. Ta-da! Now I took out our demi-glace from the freezer. We can have a super rich sauce for our croquettes. And we're going to put everything together to finish our plate. I'm going to place the croquettes here, and then to do it like a family style, we're going to drizzle them. Now that our recipe is ready, remember to use all the leftovers you have in your fridge. There are no rules, but the most important thing is to question every day, why waste?
Did you know that there are almost 800 million people that don't have anything to eat? This is why me and my wife Lara create Food for Soul, a no-profit organization to fight food waste and social isolation. Through what? Through beauty, because beauty will change the world. This project is about sharing, because it's a cultural project, it's not charity. One of the UN goals is to have food waste in the globe by 2030. This is not gonna happen if we are not all involved in this, all together in this amazing project. Why waste? Hey guys, share your creation now on Fine Dining Lovers, #Why Waste. You have to do it. I've been watching you.